The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. It takes a wise man to discover a wise man. There is only a finger's difference between a wise man and a fool. Dogs and philosophers do the greatest good and get the fewest rewards. Modesty is the color of virtue. Of what use is a philosopher who doesn't hurt anybody's feelings? The sun, too, shines into cesspools and is not polluted. The art of being a slave is to rule one's master. Those who have virtue always in their mouths, and neglect it in practice, are like a harp, which emits a sound pleasing to others, while itself is insensible of the music. Calumny is only the nous of madmen. In a rich man's house there is no place to spit but his face. It is the privilege of the god to want nothing, and of godlike men to want little. The mob is the mother of tyrants. Man is the most intelligent of the animals, and the most silly. As a matter of self-preservation, a man needs good friends or ardent enemies, for the former instruct him and the latter take him to task. What I like to drink most is wine that belongs to others. I am called a dog because I fawn on those who give me anything, I yelp at those who refuse, and I set my teeth in rascals. I threw my cup away when I saw a child drinking from his hands at the trough. Stand a little less between me and the sun. He has the most who is most content with the least. Why not whip the teacher when the pupil misbehaves? When I look upon seamen, men of science and philosophers, man is the wisest of all beings. When I look upon priests and prophets, nothing is as contemptible as man. The great thieves lead away the little thief. Most men are within a finger's breadth of being mad. I do not know whether there are gods, but there ought to be. Wise leaders generally have wise counselors because it takes a wise person themselves to distinguish them. It was a favorite expression of Theophrastus that time was the most valuable thing that a man could spend. Blushing is the color of virtue. We have 2 ears and 1 tongue so that we would listen more and talk less. I know nothing, except the fact of my ignorance. I have nothing to ask but that you would remove to the other side, that you may not, by intercepting the sunshine, take from me what you cannot give. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. No man is hurt but by himself. The vine bears 3 kinds of grapes, the first of pleasure, the second of intoxication, the third of disgust. A friend is one soul abiding in 2 bodies. The sun too penetrates into privies, but is not polluted by them. It is not that I am mad, it is only that my head is different from yours. The only way to gall and fret effectively is for yourself to be a good and honest man. I am Diogenes the dog. I nuzzle the kind, bark at the greedy and bite scoundrels. The insult dishonors the one who infers it, not the one who receives it. We come into the world alone and we die alone. Why, in life, should we be any less alone? One original thought is worth 1,000 mindless quotings. Fools! You think of God as a sentient being. God is the word used to represent a force. This force created nothing, it just helps things along. It does not answer prayers, although it may make you think of a way to solve a problem. It has the power to influence you, but not decide for you. To become self-educated, you should condemn yourself for all those things that you would criticize others. Education gives sobriety to the young, comfort to the old, riches to the poor, and is an ornament to the rich. Self-taught poverty is a help toward philosophy, for the things which philosophy attempts to teach by reasoning, poverty forces us to practice. Other dogs bite only their enemies, whereas I bite also my friends in order to save them. We are more curious about the meaning of dreams than about things we see when awake. Aren't you ashamed, you who walk backward along the whole path of existence, and blame me for walking backward along the path of the promenade? If you are to be kept right, you must possess either good friends or red-hot enemies. The one will warn you, the other will expose you. Even if I am but a pretender to wisdom, that in itself is philosophy. As houses well stored with provisions are likely to be full of mice, so the bodies of those that eat much are full of diseases. If I lack awareness, then why should I care what happens to me when I am dead? There is a false love that will make you something you are not. To arrive at perfection, a man should have very sincere friends or inveterate enemies, because he would be made sensible of his good or ill conduct, either by the censures of the one or the admonitions of the other. The noblest people are those despising wealth, learning, pleasure and life, esteeming above them poverty, ignorance, hardship and death. Virtue cannot dwell with wealth either in a city or in a house. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more life-changing quotes.